Multiple backstage returns at Survivor Series WarGames. WWE muted the live crowd due to Sasha Banks chants, and we've got scrapped plans for a huge WWE dream match. Stay tuned. Survivor Series WarGames is all said and done. Fantastic pay-per-view once again. Really enjoyed it. But multiple backstage returns that you may have missed. The first one is absolutely bonkers. I don't think many of us saw this coming. The gobbledygooker.
Yes.
Somebody dressed up in the gobbledygooker costume at tonight's Raw. A fan has snapped a photo. You can see him there, I guess, before the doors properly opened.
Yeah.
Not many fans kicking about. We didn't see the gobbledygooker, Mr. Gooker, on the show last night. He wasn't anywhere to be seen. So I imagine they're filming something for some backstage sort of like WWE YouTube exclusive content or something like that.
You just, with it being Survivor Series and everything as well, and the Gooker being synonymous with Survivor Series.
Yeah.
I think we've seen the Gooker maybe turn up before on pre-shows, but that didn't happen this time. At least we didn't see them knocking about, did we?
No, they've done the odd bit with him before, but I don't know. Maybe the press conference is happening right now as we record this, so maybe there's a big old Gooker running.
Attacks Roman.
Attacks Roman.
Attacks
next
Roman Reigns.
Bloody challenger for the title.
There we go.
Sorted. It's all sorted. We'll keep you updated on that huge Gooker news. The next one, a little bit more interesting. This is according to Fightful Select. The producer of the SmackDown Women's title match between Ronda Rousey and Shotzi, of course, was none other than the Brian Kendrick, who's obviously competed for WWE in the past, and then he was released, and it looks like he's been brought back into the fold.
Yes.
And he's now a producer. I love Brian Kendrick. I think Kendrick's so good, and it's, you know, it looked like he was wrapping up his in-ring career, and he's been doing it for so long. I can't think of many better people to produce for WWE than the Brian Kendrick.
I think Shotzi being someone who does high spots and everything as well, Brian Kendrick, very much, you know, a person who used to do all the flippy dippies. I think that's sort of the perfect person to pair Shotzi with, really.
Yeah, it seems pretty spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a great match or anything.
No.
Sack him. No. I would suggest, and I don't know the specifics of this, but I would suggest that with Kendrick here doing a pay-per-view match, that he might be full-time. This doesn't sound like a trial, because if they trial a producer, they normally do it on a Raw or a SmackDown or something like that. The fact that he's gone straight to pay-per-view
sounds like
means that he's probably back in WWE fold proper.
I'd imagine so, especially, you know, that's a world title match as well, right there, produced. So,
Sorry, I thought you meant put him in there.
No.
Him versus Ronda.
No.
Yeah, that's cool. It's a big match to be
it is.
Producing. So welcome back, the Brian Kendrick. One person, and every time a pay-per-view, big event, whatever, comes round, everybody speculates that Sasha Banks may be returning. A lot of people were speculating that she might be the fifth woman in the WarGames match. That was obviously, that spot was filled by Becky Lynch. But the crowd's still wanting Sasha. According to Brian Alvarez, crowd were chanting, "We want Sasha," super loud. Apparently they shut the crowd mics off. I believe this was during that SmackDown women's title match.
Yes.
I thought the crowd were just dead because it wasn't all that.
I think they were dead, or they were booing or something.
No.
But yeah, I mean, at this point, I think a lot of people want to see Sasha back, don't they?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people aren't really gelling with what is happening with Ronda Rousey on TV right now. And
Hometown and all that as well.
Yep, they just weren't really behind her at all, were they? So
not at all.
I think it's a no-brainer that I think people sort of want Sasha back in the fold of things, but whether she comes back soon remains to be seen. I think she's just having fun. We've said it multiple times. I think she's just having fun doing whatever she wants to do. She's still very much, you know, in the wrestling sphere in terms of she's training at different places and stuff, and it seems like that's still very much a passion of hers. So I think we'll get her back at some point, but when that'll be, not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like she's got fingers in lots of pies at the moment, and you're right that she's just having fun. She's doing whatever she fancies doing, and it's another thing that we talked about in the live stream, but I feel like Sasha Banks at this point, because she does feel like such a massive star, and she's, you know, like she's doing the films and all that sort of stuff, I feel like WWE probably need Sasha more than Sasha needs WWE.
Yeah.
I think she can just go and do whatever. I miss her. I think she's one of the best.
Too.
She's so good. And I don't think it's the last time. I think we'll see her back in the ring at some point.
Yeah,
but will that be
definitely.
soon? Maybe, maybe not.
Who knows?
Your guess is as good as ours. Next up, Finn Balor has shared some prior creative frustration. He's been on the run-in on BT Sport, talking about the creativity that he's showing as part of the Judgment Day. And he said, that's something that was stifled for a lot of years with just the way things work. Working for such a big company with so many different departments that you have to keep happy. Everything from merchandise to TV media, you have to keep all these departments happy. Sometimes I've done that at the expense of my own happiness. That's something I've changed in recent years, and I feel like that has helped me flourish. He was then asked when the Judgment Day story clicked for him, and he said that all came together at Clash at the Castle. Build up to that match especially, but when we were all laughing at Ray having just gotten kicked in the balls by his son, he specified that particular moment. It's you know what? It's good to see him be. I know he lost tonight and everything, but he lost to AJ Styles, so no massive harm done. It's good to see him being like prominently positioned on the main roster because he's done all of his best work within WWE in NXT.
Yeah,
both times.
Absolutely, you know, and we were talking on the live stream about how just everything was sort of taken away from him when he won the Universal Championship to start with, and then he got injured, and then that was just like he had to vacate it the next night. And like to see him finally sort of coming back up into this position where Triple H seems to have a lot of stock behind him too, and wants to build him back up. I think perhaps to that level as well. And I'd like to see him be built up to that level too. Maybe a world title run.
I was about to say, I don't really see it happening. You know, he's 41 years old. But I was saying the same thing about Bobby Lashley, who's older, and then he's come back and he had the crap creative for a while. He was involved in some pretty naff storylines, and then he had a really, really decent run with a world title. It's not too late for Finn at all, and I think he's doing probably the best work of his main roster career right now with the Judgment Day. It's a story that's really working.
Because he got lost, didn't he, in the main roster stuff? He often got lost within the shuffle, and when he went back to NXT, it felt like, okay, things are starting to get going again
Prince
for him
character,
now.
fantastic.
Yeah, really, really good. And then came back up to the main roster again, and it was like, he had little bits here and there, but nothing like solid, I don't think, until around about now with the Judgment Day. So it's really nice to see him finally like get back up there.
Totally. Give us more Finn AJ.
Yes.
It was a banger. It was a banger tonight. We are finishing off with some scrapped plans for a huge WWE Dream match. Kurt Angle revealing at the K&S WrestleFest virtual signing that there was a glimmer of hope for a dream match between him and the Hitman Bret Hart. I wanted to get him in at Mania, Kurt said, but by then, with his stroke and him getting a concussion and everything, it just wasn't going to work. He didn't clarify which WrestleMania he meant. I think this was potentially WrestleMania 18. I think. And there was also talk around that time of Bret coming in, perhaps, even with everything that happened as a special guest referee. I'm sure that was a possibility at the time as well. I mean, the problem is, like, Angle didn't debut. His first main roster match was Survivor Series 99.
Yeah.
Bret was long gone to WCW by then.
Yeah.
And then he was concussed, and there's still obviously the bad blood surrounding Montreal. So I don't know how far these discussions would have got.
No, me neither. But I mean, God, I would have loved to have seen that. Could you imagine?
People always talk about your Punk versus Austin and stuff like that. Your dream matches that float around. Sting, Undertaker, whatever. To me, it's always been Bret Angle.
Bret Angle would have been
amazing.
Do you know what? For some reason, that never clicked in my head before.
What?
And then, like, all of a sudden, now that we've said it, now that we're doing this, I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I was like really satisfied when we got, Shawn and Kurt Angle.
Yeah, sure.
And I've kind of just been like, that was perfect, and then kind of shut my brain off to like other dream matches for some reason. I don't know why.
Shame.
But that would you can shame me all you want. That's just how my bald head works. That would have been so good.
Bret was already bollocks by then. He was really messed up following the stroke and everything. So I don't know how far that discussion would have got. I'd love to hear more on that.
Yeah.
I'd like to know, because he only touched upon it, and I think there's a lot more to learn from that. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed WarGames. Thanks very much to everybody who popped along for the live stream. We had an absolute hoot tonight. Last reminder, because it finishes at the stroke of midnight. Everything 50% off. Cultaholicshop.com. No code needed. We've still got a few bits left. A lot of it's out of stock, but go and have a look, see what's left. If you fancy some cheap merch, make great Christmas presents for anyone that you love, including your mums.
Yes.
So check that out. Thank you very much. We will see you very, very shortly.